what's up YouTube? This is Alex. Today's YouTube video is going to be Sex Talk 101, episode 46, Sex with Gym Thoughts. Now, everybody on YouTube has their own opinion on what they think about them thoughts. And I'm here to examine the overall problem because not too many people on YouTube are really good at explaining the math and the science of a gym thought. We know what the word thought is, but when you see these girls come into the gyms like 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, Gold's Gym, Club Bay, Club Onyx, UFC Gym, when you see them go to all the gyms that I just named off, and this doesn't really have to have an age limit. So I guess we can put women from the age of 18 to 35, or we'll put 18 to 40. You know, to be on the safe side, we'll put from 18 to 40 years old. Because you got some young women being thoughts when they go to the gym, and now you got a case where you got some older women in their 30s and 40s that are being thoughts. Now, what is a thought? A thought is a girl, back in the 80s and the 90s, they used to say the girl was a hoe. Or if she was a white girl, they would call her a slut. If she was a black girl, they would call her a hoe. If she was an older woman, like in her late 30s, early 40s, they would say she's a whore. Now, a gym thought is a girl who goes to the gym searching for one man, and one man only. She's looking for a man, as Big Boss Calvin 83 just loves to say until you're blue in the face, until pigs can fly into outer space. That is money, looks, and status in that particular order. She's looking for a man that's rich and famous. She's trying to find 20% of man. And she thinks that by going to the gym 2 times a week, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, wearing her yoga pants, pretending that she's gonna go to the gym to work out. Now, the difference between a gym thought and a thought is that a thought just likes to show off her ass and her titties. You know, show off her nice athletic body for attention. A gym thought goes to the gym to get attention, but at the same time, she's looking for a man that she finds physically, sexually attractive, that she can kind of sucker into making him pay for everything. You know, her bills, her utilities. Now, this don't just mean the gym. Because everybody makes videos about the thoughts. They at the gym. And then you get some guys that complain, why are 80% of men trying to have sex with thoughts, gym thoughts? I'm going to tell you why. Most men cannot make the distinction between a woman of class and a woman of no class. Now, I already made a YouTube video telling you there's 2 types of women. There's women that you have sex that respect you, and then there are women that you have sex with that disrespect you. And most of us cannot make the distinction between who has class and who has no class. So when you hear them say 80% of women are chasing 20% of the men, some of that 80%, I would say maybe 40 or 60 out of 80% of women are thoughts, hoes, sluts, whores. That's basically what the term thought is. So you can say whore, you can say a slut, you can say a hoe, you can say a skank, whatever word comes to your mind, that's what the word gym thought really means. Now, they find these women physically, sexually attractive because they be in athletic shape. But don't get the game fucked up. Don't get the game twisted, because this video is for men that are from the ages of 18 to 35. So it doesn't matter if you're a black man, a white man, a Latino man, an Asian man. Doesn't matter if you're from Russia, Germany, Paris, France, London, England. Doesn't matter if you're from Mars. Doesn't matter if you're from planet Vegeta. This is for men from the age of 18 to 35. Now, you got some women that are 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds that are also thoughts at the gym. And it ain't just the gym. See, Everyone loves to make videos about the thoughts at the gym, but they're not telling you the truth. They're not being honest with you in those videos, because if they was, they would be telling you this information I'm about to tell you. Some of you already know this information, and the rest of you, it'll blow your mind. There's thoughts everywhere. At work, oh yeah, when you go to your job 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you know at least 5 to 10 girls at your job that is a gym thought. That if they see some professional basketball players, football players, baseball players, R&B singers, rappers, rock stars, if they see actors, if they see filmmakers, they're going to make sexual advances towards men that are rich and famous in the 20%. So you know somebody at your job that's a gym thought. You go to school, I don't care if it's college. I don't care if it's a junior college or a 4-year major university. You know at least 5 to 10 girls that is a gym thought. That will do anything to get the attention of a basketball player or a football player. Or in this case, the coach. Same thing if it's at the gym. You know at least 5 to 10 girls that are a gym thought. So it ain't just the gym. It's the gym, it's school, it's work. Hell, you know somebody at the nightclub. You know at least 5 to 10 girls at the nightclub and at the bars that is a gym thought. So no matter where you go, you're going to at least run into 5 to 10 girls that are gym thoughts. And you see, these women stay in athletic shape. So they do work out. They do cardio. They do some form of strength training, not weight training. And they do stay in athletic shape. And there are some men that will smash 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 girls that are known as a gym thought. They do use social media. They do use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you see them everywhere. And these are females that stay going to the gyms. They stay in athletic shape. So when they tell you go find you a girl, go find you a girlfriend, or try to get a girl, usually guys will try to go hit on the first fine-looking female they see, and come to find out she a thought. But you don't know that until after you smash 2 or 3 times. Some of the guys who have girlfriends, some of their girlfriends are thoughts. And these are guys that will hook up with a girl off of Tinder 2, 3, maybe 5, maybe 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 years go by before the secret come out that all that time that he was dating her, all that time he tried to get engaged, to get married, and then it comes out she's a thought. Ladies, you have girlfriends that are gym thoughts. And you know all her sexual activities. She always talks about it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on the cell phone, text message. And the girls be laughing at the guys at the job, at 85% of the jobs, because a lot of the guys be thinking, all I got to do is mac to this fine-ass chick, and life's going to go just fine. And then the girl be laughing like if he only knew that girl was a thought, he wouldn't be trying to fall in love with her. And a lot of the guys don't realize that until after they smash 2 or 3 times. Now, if you're a player and you're a guy that just smashes girls on the regular like that, you don't care. If you're a basketball player or a football player, you're not going to care that the girl's a thought. But if you're a guy that's trying to fall in love and get married and have kids and try to do what your parents and grandparents did, you're going to get your heart broken every single time. You're going to get your feelings hurt every single time. Now, I have at least 2 or 3 girls that I know for a fact are thoughts at both gyms that I work out at. I work out at 24 Hour Fitness and I work out at Planet Fitness. And I had one girl that I think may not be a thought, but then again, she probably is. And the thoughts be trying to look for Chad at the gym. That's basically why they're called gym thoughts. They be looking for Chad at the gym because they know Chad lives in the gym, stays in the gym, breathes and eats in the gym. So they're looking for Chad. That's why they go to the gym all the time. That's why they go to the gym 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week at the gym. They're looking for Chad. And Chad could be anybody. Chad could be the guy that plays basketball, football, baseball, track and field, boxing, MMA. Chad could be a R&B singer. He could be a rapper. He could be an actor. He could be playing basketball and football. He could be a rock star. He could be a filmmaker. So Chad could be anybody when he comes into the gym. You could have your own company, your own private little business, and if she thinks you're Chad, you're most likely 99.99% of the time you're going to get the ass. Of course, in this situation, you would already have a house or an apartment. You would have a car. You would have the money, the looks, and the status. And if she thinks you're Chad or she thinks you're a part of the 20%, she'll give up the ass with no questions asked. You see how that rhymes? Now, if you're an educated lame, if you're a nerd or a geek or you're just an average man, then you're going to have a hard time trying to get the attention of 80% of the women inside the gym. Now, most men will agree with this, and most women will say hell no, and basically depict me as a villain who's women bashing. I'm not woman bashing. I'm making the video because other guys have made videos about the argument, but it never gets fully explained. Now, the girl is in athletic shape. That's without question. Now, it's a fact that the reason why they make these videos because there's guys trying to get phone numbers and email addresses, and they're trying to date the girl. They're trying to take her out to lunch and dinner. And when they find out that she already has a boyfriend, because there's a case of that. First, in the early 2000s, it was they just come into the gym to hit on the personal trainer, the bodybuilder, and the weightlifter, and the power lifter, and the athletes that play basketball and football, and basically we just say, well, that's just a hoe inside the gym. Now it's gotten to the point where they're everywhere. They're at work, they're at school, they're at the gym. Some girls who have girlfriends that are thoughts. And then you got a case where the girl has a boyfriend, but in secrecy, when the boyfriend or the husband's not around, she's a thought. Then you get some women in their early 30s, late 30s, and mid 40s, and for whatever reason, older women feel like, well, the younger women can be hoes, I should be a hoe. So now you got some older women being hoes. And a lot of men start to complain 10, 15 years later that they can't find them no girlfriend, they can't find them no wife. What they find is a thought. And instead of getting a girlfriend or a wife, they get what they don't want, they get a thought. And then these men get heartbroken because they spend 10 years or 15 years searching for a woman, and all they have on what they come in contact with is a woman that basically is a thought. And it ain't just the gym, it's when you go to work, it's when you go to school. So it ain't just the gym, it's everywhere. And a lot of these men, don't feel bad because it happened to me, that we're in a situation where we weren't taught at birth. We weren't taught when we were in high school and college to learn how to tell the distinction between women of class and women of no class. And then you got some women of class that are becoming thoughts. So when you hear the word reform thought, usually that's a case where it's been 10 years later, or it's 15 or 20 years later, and the girl decides she don't want to be a hoe no more. Now she want to be a woman of class. And then, like I said, it's a case where a guy finds a girl finally, and then the secret comes out 10 years later, or it comes out 15, 20 years later, or in extreme cases, it's 25 to 30 years later, and all of a sudden, the secret comes out that this girl had sex with basketball players and football players once upon a time in high school and college. Or she got screwed in the butt by the boss at her job for a job promotion. But this be 10 years later. This be 15, 20 years later. You know, the same girl you get rejected at the gym? There's a good chance she's probably a thought, waiting for Chad to come. You go to work and you get rejected 5 times, 10 times at work by the same girl you want, there's a good chance she's a thought. You get turned down by a girl at school, there's a good chance she's probably a thought. And same thing if you go to the nightclubs, the movie theaters, there's a good chance she's probably a thought. And same thing if the girl reports you to H&R, there's a strong chance she's probably a thought. And you probably may not understand why is Chad getting all the attention and I'm not. And then you might think it has something to do with you being ugly and fat, and sometimes it is. And then you see what you have to understand is when I say the thoughts are everywhere, they're everywhere. It ain't just the gym no more. See, everyone keep making videos about the gym, the gym, the gym. Well, you got thoughts at work. You got thoughts at school, the movie theater, the nightclub, the bar. You got thoughts at church. That's how far it stretches. And you see, you will never know until you run into these women. It ain't just Facebook and Twitter and Instagram that you be talking to them Instagram model thoughts. See, everyone talks about that to death, but make their subject on to the gym. I'm just trying to explain to you how the situation is. And you see, now that you got a case of women in their 30s and their 40s being thoughts, and again, the man gets frustrated because for 10 years or 15 years, he keeps searching high and low for the right woman, only to come to the conclusion he can't find the right woman or a woman to be with. And then the man has to do things like, I got to make it into a short-term relationship. I got to turn this into a friends with benefits. I got to turn this into a booty call because the goals that I set for these expectations, I am not meeting them standards. I'm not fulfilling those standards because I got a thought. And then some men will try to turn the thought into a girlfriend. They'll try to turn the thought into a wife. And then they might fight for 5 years because he keeps trying to control her lifestyle and she don't want no one to control her lifestyle. And you see, it ain't until a woman get 45 or close to 50 years of age that she decides, I want to be a reform thought. That's when you go into these churches in the black community, of course, and she be there talking about, I wanna clean my soul, I wanna be good with the Lord. And that's when you start to say a hypocrite, because that's when women start that, well, you gotta be a man of the Lord. That's when they start that you gotta now go to church if you want to get with my pussy. And that's when you find out these women are full of shit and are fucking hypocritical, because you didn't do that with the basketball players, you didn't do that with the football players, you didn't do that with the actors, you didn't do that with the R&B singer, the rappers, and the rock stars, and you didn't do that with the filmmakers. And you sure in the hell didn't do that with Chad and Tyrone. And these be women that you went to high school and college with 10, 15, 20 years ago in the past that be like, well, now I'm trying to get to know the Lord. Now I'm trying to clean my soul. I want to go into heaven. And then they see you, the educated lame, the nerd and the geek, or just an average man, and they go, well, you got to put in that work. And you be looking at these bitches like, I put in work for 10 years, 15, 20 years. I ain't putting in no overtime. Fuck you. And then these women be like, how dare you? But when they see Chad come up in that church, oh, Chad get it like that. They see Tyrone come up in church, he get it just like that with no hesitation, no struggle. It's a struggle. And then it stretches to white women. You got some white women that are thoughts. Got some Mexican women that are thoughts. You got some foreign women, unfortunately, that become thoughts. Not all foreign women, but there are some weird cases where it does happen. You get women that are mixed that become thoughts. And no matter what city and state you go to, there's some thoughts. And at some capacity, there's thoughts. And you see, even the girl that you might have a crush on could be a thought. You meet a girl at a bus stop or at the train, there's a strong minority chance that she might be a thought. And she ain't go, and you see, she don't have to dress like a thought to look like one. She could just dress normal, casual, and still be a thought in secrecy. That's why a lot of times when you be trying to find out why the girl be getting all these tattoos and all these body piercings, and the girl get mad because you found out that she likes to do that type of shit, there are consequences. Like a girl will go, okay, I'm going to report you to the H&R. Because some women feel like in their mind, you ain't supposed to find out that I'm a freak like that. I don't want you finding out I'm a freak. You ever been a taxi driver or an Uber driver, and a girl will be on the phone bragging about how many men she had sex with in one day? Or I screwed 5 men in one day. Or I screwed 10 men in one day. And they'll always say, whatever you do not go back and tell that lame at the gym that I screw that many guys, because he has a crush on me, and maybe when I'm done screwing all these men, maybe I might give that lame a chance to take me out to lunch and dinner 10 years from now. Yeah, that happens. Or don't tell that guy at our workplace because he has a crush on me. You know, he's a janitor and, you know, he's nice, and I don't think he can handle my wild, primitive nature. Same thing at school. Yeah, he a nice guy, but I just don't know. Don't tell him. That's how you can tell a girl's a thought. Whenever they say that shit, don't go back and tell the lame. Don't tell these nerds or these geeks. Don't tell the average man shit. Yeah, that goes on for about 10 years. It goes on for 15 years. By the time it becomes public knowledge, it's 20 years later by the time it becomes public knowledge. Like, everyone else around you might know about the truth, but you don't. By the time you find out, it's 15 years later. It's 20 years later. Extreme cases, 25 to 30 years later, that's when they tell you, yeah, man, she was a freak back in the day. You go to a party, right? I'm not talking about a party as in a college party, but sometimes a house party. Yeah, man, such and such was a freak back in the day, man. You should have seen how many times she got down with the basketball team and the football team, man. And you be like, who you talking about? Oh, the girl that you dating or the girl you trying to marry and have kids by. Man, she was a freak back in the day. And it be at some girl at work that know about that shit but won't never tell you for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It be some girl at the gym you work out with or you went to school with that know who you trying to get with. That's a thought. And they not going to tell on the thought. Girls, whether it's a good girl or a bad girl, they're never going to tell on that other girl unless that girl wants to screw the same guy. That's why I made a YouTube video on my old YouTube channel called The Girl Code is Dead. But what I'm trying to say in this case, the only time that the girl code is alive is when it comes to nerds, when it comes to geeks, when it comes to the educated lame, when it comes to average men. That's when the girl code is alive and well. And that's when the female will stick up for the girl that's a thought. And that's when lames complain, oh, she gave Tyrone the best sex in the world. But I get that leftover sex. And it took me 10 or 15 or 20 years later to get it. You see how that is, right? So I just made this video to let you know it ain't just the gym, it's everywhere. Until then, peace.